The 1985 Bears are one of the most legendary and iconic defenses in the history of the NFL. They were built on a smash-mouth, gigantic, smothering front seven that was as dominant as any group we have ever seen. Their 1985 season climaxed in a Super Bowl victory that was the cherry on top of their storybook season, and this was all done on the back of their 4-6 defensive scheme. And in this video, we're going to dissect the foundational principles of their defense. We're going to replicate the setup of our defense to mirror their dominant blueprint, and we're going to spotlight the key players who turned their defense into the legend that it became. And all this will lead you to being able to use this amazing 85 Bears 4-6 defense in Madden 23. Here are the core principles of the 4-6 defense that served as the cornerstone of their strategy and will be the foundation of our Madden scheme. Now, first we'll break down the 4-6 itself and show you what it actually is, and here we're going to look at the standard classic alignment of the 4-6. The personnel is the same as a 4-3 defense, possessing 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 corners, and 2 safeties, but their alignment was completely unique. On the weak side of the football, the defensive end lines up outside of the tackle, then the defensive tackle lines up on the weak side of the guard. On the strong side, the defensive end is head up on the strong side guard, and the nose tackle is going to be lined up directly over the center. Then the Sam linebacker lines up on the outside shoulder of the tight end on the line of scrimmage, and the Will linebacker lines up beside him on the tight end's inside shoulder. Then the Mike backer lines up directly across from the strong side tackle and 2 yards back. Then the strong safety played a hybrid safety linebacker role. He lined up directly in front of the weak side tackle and a couple yards back, and this is where the defense got its name. Their safety in this role was Doug Plank, who wore the number 46. But we're going to actually be running 2 different formations in this video, with the first being 3-4 Bear, which basically is the same alignment, but now it will be with 3-4 personnel. And then our big difference here is now the linebacker will play high and the 4-6 safety is going to be down on the line of scrimmage. Then the other formation we're looking at is 4-6 Bear under, and this we are back in 4-3 personnel, but now on the strong side we have a D end and our Sam backer doubled up on the outside, and then the other outside linebacker is playing more of that weak side defensive end spot. Now the main driving force behind these 4-6 alignments was the ability to stop the run with their front 8, and you'll see that consistently when you are running any of these plays, running the ball is going to be extremely difficult with all of our players knifing into the backfield and making plays. We are going to be playing head up on the 3 interior offensive linemen, completely shutting down the running lanes, and then when the inside is shut down, we're going to string out ball carriers where the rest of our defense can flow to the football and wipe them out. Now this 85 Bears defense is all part of a bigger scheme I'm doing out of this 4-6 playbook. There will be 3 more videos along with this one that include an intro video where I break down the personnel and abilities you should use in this scheme, a breakdown of the other great 4-6 defense with the late 80s Eagles led by Reggie White, and a dime defensive breakdown out of this same 4-6 playbook to give you a great spread pass defense. Now if you want to check out everything that is out so far for this defense, there will be a playlist linked down in the description below. Then once the run was stopped, this front 8 unleashed hell on opposing QBs, and the Bears would bring insane blitzes from all over the field, harassing quarterbacks and making throwing the football next to impossible. This front was led by numerous Hall of Famers and Pro Bowlers who gave them a talent edge on almost everyone they faced, and they had a relentless drive to hit, harass, and knock out QBs at every opportunity. And during the 1984 season, they set the NFL record with 72 sacks in a single season, which equals 4.5 a game. Then in 1985, they had an incredible 64 sacks, good for the 12th best mark ever. So for our defense, we are going to have 2 blitzes that can fire in as fast as possible, and these are going to be specifically designed to get home against your opponent when they are blocking your running back, ensuring you're always going to get a ton of pressure. Now before we even get on the field, we want to make sure we have our coaching adjustments set up like this, and I play with base align on. Then for audibles, for our 2 Bear formations, we want to set them up to look like this. The first blitz we are looking at is LB Dogs in 4-6 Bear under. So we are going to use this to really crank up the pressure. This is going to be a great 0-man look that will have us rushing 6 people people to come in at the QB before they even know what hits them. And this blitz is all about creating chaos and putting the offense in a position where they can't block everyone. This is even going to come in if they block their running back, making it a way to get great, reliable, fast pressure. To set this up, call gap press, then audible over to LB dogs at the line. Now, starting out in gap press is going to bring one of our linebackers to the line of scrimmage, and this is going to help our blitzes come in. Then we want to slant our D-line out and QB contain, and that is it for the blitz setup. Then lastly, user the high safety, and you want to bring him down to the weak side of the field and into the B gap. So that is going to be away from the two players on the line of scrimmage. Now here it is obviously a zero blitz, so it's going to be one-on-ones across the board, but as long as your blitz gets home, you won't need to cover for long, and you should be able to make some plays in coverage. And because the pressure should be getting there fast, this can lead to some really bad balls into coverage. Then as the user, if your manned up player leaves out on a route, then you just want to turn and run with him, and if they do throw it his way, get ready to step in front and try to make a play. But if your player stays into block, then you are just free over the middle of the field, and you can help try to take away any routes you see. Then for the blitz aspect of this play, if they send everyone out on routes, then we will have both our outside rushers firing off the edge into the backfield at the QB. Then if they do keep their running back into block, he will take one of the edge players, leaving the other one free in at the QB where he can blow him up. Next, we are looking at LB dogs 3 in 4-6 bear under. This is going to be another 6-man blitz where we are bringing the house in at the QB and trying to cause as much havoc in the backfield as possible. But for this blitz, instead of a man look, we're going to have a cover 3 shell on the back end with 5 players playing zone coverage, giving us some really solid options in coverage to make plays. To set this blitz up, call LB dogs 3 out of the huddle. Then you want to slant your D-line to the side with the 2 linebackers on the line of scrimmage. Then take the high linebacker on that side and drop him in on the flat to that side. And then lastly, take the safety who is the user on this play and bring him to the strong side A gap, which is the same side with the 2 linebackers down on the line of scrimmage. Now for this blitz, if they send everyone out on routes, you're going to get both edge players in free, forcing them to throw the ball right away, or they are going to be going down. Then if they do block their running back, now they will only have 4 people out on routes, and we are still going to get a free rusher in off the edge, barreling in at the QB to make a play. Then for the coverage end of this blitz, we want to patrol the whole middle of the field with our user, and you can really make a ton of plays, and you just want to jump anything you see and force them to try to attack the edge of your defense. Then most of the time, I'm going to shade down with this defense, putting hard flats on the field, and this will take away anything quick underneath. And because we are bringing pressure, we want to force them to hold the ball and allow our blitz to come in. But then we can also shade up and put hard flats on the field, and I'll do this on longer down and distances to help take away some of the deeper routes down the field. And this is really what I'm going to use in more of those long down and distances where they're going to try to push the ball down the field. The 1985 Bears left an incredible mark on NFL history, a team celebrated for their unprecedented defensive dominance, masterminded by the visionary Buddy Ryan and his revolutionary 4-6 defense. Ryan, a coach renowned for his strategic brilliance, catapulted defensive play calling to new heights with this aggressive blitz-heavy strategy. The Bears' monumental 85 season saw them lead the NFL in scoring defense, permit the fewest points allowed, and force the most turnovers. And all of this climaxed in a Super Bowl victory over the New England Patriots 46-10 that really capped off and solidified their legacy. And then to have a complete Madden defense, we need some safer blitzes that can still come in with speed at the QB, but now we're also going to have a safety deep over the top to help in coverage. And just overall, these blitzes coming up are just going to give us a much more sound defensive coverage shell on the back end. The next blitz we are looking at is cover 3 in 3-4 bear. This is going to be a super effective 5-man blitz that will come in with an unblocked edge rusher firing in at the QB with insane speed, giving them no time to set up and push the ball down the field. This will come in every time if they send everyone out on routes, making this super effective at making plays in at the QB, and is a great way to get free rushers without having to limit our ability to cover on the back end. Then this is all done with a cover 3 defensive shell on the back end with 3 deep zones with your safety and 2 cornerbacks, then 2 players locking down the flats, and then as the user, you are responsible for the whole middle of the field. And with this blitz speeding up the QB, this should give us some really good pass defense on the back end. To set this blitz up, we want to blitz our weak side linebacker, so the one on the opposite side of the 2 on the line. Then you want to take the high linebacker on that side and drop him into the flat. Then you want to use the high linebacker on the same side as the 2 on the line and bring him down about a step and a half in, down to the A gap on that side, and that is the whole setup. setup. Then as the user, we are the linebacker over the middle, and we have the whole short to intermediate areas of the field, but we also do have safety help over the top, and we're just looking to pick up anything we see, and we can just jump anything over the middle and go the other way with the football. Then for our flats, once again, we can put them in hards and let them make plays underneath and just try to take away any quick hitters they try to throw to beat the blitz, and this can lead to some really big plays. Then you can also shade up, and this will get them underneath deeper routes like cornerbacks and comebacks along the sideline, and we can wipe those out. Then for my 4 players in the secondary, I am using the ability Deep Zone KO. This is the best ability in the game for zone coverage, and it will lead to knockouts deep down the field in zone coverage all over the field. This can work on deep shots along the sideline when they throw it up when they have one-on-ones on the outside, but it can also fire when they attack the deep middle of the field as well, and this is perfect for our zone blitzes. The next play we're looking at is Will Sam 1 in 3-4 Bear. This is going to be a super effective 5-man blitz. It will come in with unblocked edge rushers firing in at the QB, and it is going to be basically the same blitz as our cover 3 look. And we are still going to get this free edge rusher bearing down on the QB completely untouched if they send everyone out on routes. But now this is all done with a cover 1 shell on the back end, so man across the board, then 5 rushers to come in on the blitz, and then a deep middle safety. And with this blitz putting pressure on the QB, this should give us some really good pass D to pair with our cover 3 blitz. Now this is about the easiest setup ever. All you need to do is you want to use the high linebacker on the same side as the 2 on the line, and you just want to bring him down about a step and a half in and down into the A gap on that side, and that is the whole setup. These cover 3 and cover 1 blitzes are great to pair with each other because they look identical pre-snap, and this is going to ensure that we don't give them a key on which coverage look we are in. Then for the coverage side of this, we really have a solid man defense on the back end, and if they don't have the right man beating routes dialed up, then we should be able to get plenty of knockouts and force some turnovers with our coverage. Then we also have a deep middle third safety on this play, which will help give us that extra safety net over the top and can help really erase some big play opportunities for the offense down the field. Then on the back 4 secondary players, I also have deep route KO. This is a man coverage ability, and with it now, when we are bringing our man blitzes, we can still get knockouts with these 4 players all over the field, and this is especially good on the outside corners, so they can't just throw go balls deep down the field, and this is really perfect to pair with our man blitzes. Now if you use these 4 cards in your secondary, then you can get both of these KO abilities on each of your players for a total of 4 AP, and this is a huge plus for this scheme. Then if you want to take this defense to the next level, you need to check out my website Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video, where I will give you 4 more plays out of these 2-4-6 defensive formations to give you so many ways to attack offenses and create a ton of big plays. Then there's going to be a ton more going up on the site for this 4-6 defense to help make it a complete defensive schemes and one of the best defenses you will use all year. Then also on the site are all my past schemes like my NCAA spread offense and my LOB Seahawks defense and a ton more. Then also on the site you can get access to my playbooks, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes, and with 5 out so far, with my newest being my golden era offense that is 73 pages long, and this can help take your game to the next level. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Then even though the Bears were an insanely blitz heavy defense, they still needed to have coverage looks on the back end and be able to change up the look they gave the offense, and this was a huge contributor to their ability to force turnovers and get the ball back for their offense. So in Madden, we need to have a really good coverage we can play that will look the same as our blitzes, but now we can drop out, get into the passing lanes, and make plays. Then our main coverage we will run for this defense is going to be cover 2 man in 4-6 bear under. Now lastly, we have our full coverage look for this defense, and this is going to be a great change up. Now we do want to bring the dogs in at the QB consistently when we're playing this defense, but then we can throw this coverage out at them and completely throw them for a loop, and this can lead to some really bad balls into coverage. This is going to be a 2-man under defensive shell with only 4 players rushing the quarterback, then man coverage across the board, and then we are going to have 2 deep safeties playing over the top and helping to shut down deep balls, giving us some great coverage looks on the back end. To set this up, call gap press and then audible over to cover 2 man at the line. This will bring our linebacker to the line of scrimmage, just like our blitzes out of this formation. Then we want to take our high safety and bring him down into the box to look like our blitzes as well. Then lastly, I do like to shade up on our coverage. This will ensure man players on the outside play over the top and don't let deep balls go over their head, and this will give our deep safeties time to get back and help. Now the great part of this coverage is it'll look the same pre-snap as our blitzes out of 4-6 bear under, so this won't give them any keys on if if we are bringing the blitz or playing coverage. Then coverage-wise, this is really just a great complement to our blitzes. The man coverage can help take away quick hitters that may have been there versus our zone blitzes, and this can lead to some bad throws into coverage. But then these deep safeties dropping out can also get into passing lanes and get underneath the ball to pick them off, or these deep safeties can get on their horse, get deep down the field, and help break up those deep bombs. Then to make sure you are running this 4-6 defense to its full potential, you need to run the right personnel and abilities. And in the intro video for this scheme, I went over a complete breakdown over exactly which ones you should be using. And if you want to check that out, you need to watch this video right here.